Jackie Mazzucato here, and this is my Thursday.
Have you ever wanted to make your own puff pastry at home and not known where to start? Well, I'm going to give you all the secrets to actually making a beautiful puff pastry, and you'll never go back to store-bought again. But it's a very, very simple process. You just need some time in your day to let it rest whilst you're laminating the dough. So what we're going to start with is our butter block. What I've done here is I've got 395 grams of butter. We're just going to pop that into our KitchenAid. That's been sitting out a little while, so it's not, it's at room temperature. And 60 grams of flour. We're just going to pop that into the mixer here, and just on a low speed we're going to just combine that and bring it together. So as that was mixing, I've just brought it together, and I'm going to transfer that now into this bowl. So what I'm going to do now, we've mixed that butter and flour together, is I'm just going to push it into the corners of my bowl and create my nice even square of butter. Baking paper, just so that the top of our butter doesn't dry out, and I can turn it out onto that in a little while. And I'm going to pop that in the fridge because I want my block to go nice and cold and nice and hard for when we actually mix it with the pastry. Now, the second step is to make our dough. So I've got 500 grams of flour here and 60 grams of room temperature cubed butter, and I'm just going to pop that in there. You can do this in a food processor or a mixer if you like, but one of the things I love about making pastry is I really like how therapeutic it is. So I don't mind getting in there and rubbing the butter through the flour and creating my crumb. So we've got our beautiful crumb here. Nice fine crumb. I'm going to add a little bit of salt in there because we've used unsalted butter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to slowly add this cold water to my mix. I'm just mixing it. I'm not going to use it all to start with. So there's our shaggy dough. Again, as I said, don't overwork this dough. Alright, what I'm going to do now is just spread a little bit of flour on my surface. And now we're going to bring it together with our hands, just gently. The secret to good puff pastry is actually in the resting. So pop that in some Glad wrap, pop it in the fridge, because again we want the butter in the pastry to go cool and help us develop that dough. If you wanted to know what I was doing with this batch of puff pastry, I'm going to make some sausage rolls. So if you head over to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to get the recipe for the sausage rolls as well. And that's what I did. I made the mixture up whilst I was letting my butter and my pastry sit in the fridge and rest for a while. So you can see beautiful elastic dough. And what I want to do is I want to roll that out and form a rectangle. I'm going to put the block of butter in the middle here and fold over the end 6 times. So we're just going to bring that one into the center, bring that one into the center. The first one is a little bit different to the others. I'm just going to seal the ends up there. I'm going to turn it over, flour my surface, and gently roll it out. Now you should be able to do, after resting, 2 turns. So we're just going to fold that one in now and that one in now. Turn it over, flour down our bench, and off we go again. We're just really working away to try and get a very consistent dough. And then I'm going to fold my pastry in, turn it over. Just going to wrap that and put it back in the fridge now. I've had that one in the fridge now for 45 minutes or so. It's nice and cold. Just give me a little hit with the rolling pin like that. We'll loosen it up and make it easier to roll. This pastry is just looking beautiful. So as I said, if you leave it in for about 45 minutes, you can probably get 2 turns. Unless of course it's a really hot day, then you're only going to get 1 turn from that pastry. Turn now. Oh, this dough is so easy to work with. Turn. fold in. Don't want too much flour in between my layers. And now we're ready to wrap. Pop back in the fridge for the last time, and then we'll bring that back out and do another 2 turns. So we're now another 45 minutes later. We've popped that back in the fridge and we've let it rest again, and now we're just doing that last 2 folds. And now our last roll. This time we're not going to put the fold in. This time we're actually going to roll our pastry out so we can use it. I'm going to grab a really sharp knife here because what I wanted to show you, when we zoom in there, is you can see all of those beautiful layers. I cut it at this stage. It makes it a bit easier to work with to actually be able to roll that out. So as I'm rolling one half out, I'll just pop a little bit of flour on that one and pop that one back in the fridge. And I can let that get cold again. You just don't ever want your pastry to warm up, and more time in the fridge is better than less time in the fridge. I don't want to go too thin. Oh my goodness, you should smell the smells in this kitchen. Look at those beautiful, beautiful flaky pastry sausage rolls.